Welcome everyone to WWE Monday Night Raw review from July 25th of 2016. Yes, I am a day late. I will be back later on tonight after SmackDown Live is over. So let's get into things about this episode. My God, what a shocking turn of events. We first get two fatal four-way matches with Finn Balor winning the first fatal four-way match, which besides himself had Cesaro, Rusev, and Kevin Owens in this match. Raw started out with a good introduction, just basic, standard information to the audience. Great music intro. Wonderful. I really like this, even though Michael Cole is involved in the whole not interviewing, the announcing team, and you got Corey Graves in there and Brian Saxon. It is a really good mesh that they got going on there. I actually enjoyed listening to these guys, even though Michael Cole was the guy on the mic, doing the head broadcasting. Okay, so getting into the good, the bad, and the ugly, what I meant in my description down below from this video, if you see it live or if you see it after it's been recorded. The good thing is good picture quality, meaning by camera angles, things of that sort. I saw some different camera movement going on in the show. They kind of, during the match, they'd move the camera around underneath the ring. They even had, I think, even camera above the ring at some points during the show. We got interviews after matches that only the person viewing the television could actually see. So, I mean, there was a lot of things, small little things that were different from what we've seen in the last couple of years with Monday Night Raw. We also got back the red ropes. The logo, the new logo is kind of bland, but they kind of mixtured it with modern day Raw design with 2002 to 2006 Raw design, all rolled into one as a millennium type of mix, which I kind of appreciate. I think that they're trying really hard to bring back the ruthless era, the ruthless aggression era, excuse me, and try to make it a lot like how it used to be before they got rid of the brand extension and mushed everything together, got rid of some titles that really were great titles. But speaking of titles, okay, we go ahead. The WWE title is now on SmackDown exclusively, only on SmackDown, thanks to Dean Ambrose retaining the championship at Battleground. So what we do is we introduce a title called the WWE Universal title. Why? Why name it the Universal title? Why not name it the World Heavyweight Championship? I mean, the WWE title is just being called the WWE title. There is no fucking World Heavyweight title. I guess apparently they should just keep the name for the WWE title as WWE World Heavyweight Championship and call this the WWE Universal Championship. But instead, they take the World Heavyweight title out of the WWE title altogether, just name it the WWE Championship. And this, to me, by calling it the Universal title instead of just calling it the World Heavyweight Championship, which would have been a lot more simplistic, and I guess they thought that would be boring to some people, I guess. To me, this is like naming it the TNA Legends Championship, basically, in my mind. I mean, TNA Legends Championship had a really great design, but it wasn't no secondary World Heavyweight title. Then changed to the television title, the Global Championship, and so forth and so on. and yada, 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 which now it is called the King of the Mountain Championship. So, I mean, it's gone through different name changes left and right. My point being is that I don't think that the Universal Championship is going to change to different names. But my problem with it is it should be called the World Heavyweight Title. It doesn't, when you say Universal, it doesn't seem, it's like calling it the Intercontinental Championship. It just seems so stupid. Like what, the WWE title is just a title that's defended in the United States? And the Universal title can be defended all across the world? I mean, come on. This is just ridiculous. It should have just been called the World Heavyweight title. They should just reintroduce the classic World Heavyweight title, maybe with a little bit of a change to it, with the new design logo and so forth. But other than that, it should have been the same fucking design that the old school WCW Championship should have been. They should just reintroduce that. Maybe they still will reintroduce that same exact design, just calling it the Universal Championship, but still, the name Universal just does not seem like an important title. It doesn't seem like a heavyweight championship. It seems like just calling it an Intercontinental Championship belt. So that's all I have to say on that subject. But moving on with things. So our first match was the Fatal 4-Way Cesaro, Rusev, Owens, and Finn Balor. Great matchup. Finn Balor got the coup de grace on Rusev and picked up the victory. Outstanding performance by all four men. Really enjoyed this match. This match was actually very unpredictable. You didn't think that maybe Finn Balor was going to walk out with this victory or not, just in this Fatal 4-Way, but they did. They had Finn Balor walk away. I kind of thought maybe they would go with Cesaro or Kevin Owens, but they went with Finn Balor in the process of this match. The secondary Fatal 4-Way match was Roman Reigns, Chris Jericho, Sheamus, and Sami Zayn. And I'll get into that as we move forward through this review. We also get an introduction promo that the Cruiserweight division will be coming soon to Raw, as well as Nia Jax getting a squash match against a nobody name. That's another thing WWE did that was really fucking good, that I enjoyed them doing. They're going back to the old school way of hyping up a wrestler. They're taking a nothing name that no one's ever heard of, bringing them into a one-time only match, and having them bury the shit out of that nobody instead of taking their in-ring talent that they already have and making them have to job out to other guys to make the guy they're trying to build up look good and bring down the other guys that are already on their roster. So this was very smart. Nia Jax displayed a lot of powerful moves. She looks like a fucking brute. She looks like a tough-ass wrestling. And Awesome Kong was pretty damn badass for TNA. Then we go straight to an announcement of Brock Lesnar being announced for next week's Raw. I don't know how they're going to develop the storyline between Lesnar and Randy Orton, except little independent promos that they're going to do on each other and basically shoots on one another about how they feel about the other opponent. But I don't see how they're going to be able to do interaction if the stipulation is that nobody from the Raw brand can go up against or have any interaction with SmackDown superstars. So quite honestly, it seems like a crapshoot in this match. I think the build-up is going to be absolutely horrible for Brock and Randy Orton. The match itself is going to be all worth it in the end. Just the sad part about it is there's really no way of building this match if they can't interact with one another in some way, shape, or form. That's the downside about this for Monday Night Raw and the match itself. Roman Reigns, Chris Jericho, Sheamus, and Sami Zayn's match was next after that announcement. Roman Reigns, of course, picks up the victory, and this match was a botch at the end. Chris Jericho and Roman Reigns acted like fucking retards. Chris Jericho tries to go for the code breaker. Roman Reigns counters the move of the code breaker from Chris Jericho, Jericho accidentally falls backwards on his back and then gets back up and stands there for almost 30 seconds waiting for Roman Reigns to Superman punch him in the face and then pick up a spear to get the victory. Completely sloppy fucking ending to this match. The crowd was booing Roman Reigns heavily as usual, and on top of it, the whole thing was just a complete wash at the end. A really sad thing to see. Jericho also hit his code breaker on Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns kicks out, but Jericho can't kick out of a spear. Pathetic. Once again, showing that WWE cannot build this guy up into anything more than their classic class clown. He is just their retard circus clown who makes himself look like he's Superman when all he is just another guy. That's all he is. He's not the guy, he is just a guy. That's it. Simple as that. So this match was exciting, but the ending was very disappointing of how botched out the ending ended up being. I was very disappointed in this match for the ending itself. Roman Reigns and Finn Balor would be the main event, of course, as you all know if you did watch Monday Night Raw. And then the next thing that we had was the New Day having their segment and a video package about how they created the new Wwe cereal that can only be found at FYE. Now, let me ask you guys one question. Who the fuck would order Wwe cereal from FYE and have it delivered to the house? For all you know, that shit could be fucking rotten by the time it gets to your home because it's not being, it's being traveled through the heat. It's the middle of the summer, so forth. But the idea is fucking awesome. The whole design of coming up with the cereal, turning it from just a gimmick to an actual real cereal was freaking awesome. If there was an FYE around here, I'd definitely go to one and buy a box of Wwe cereals because I absolutely love the gimmick. That's what made me start to like the New Day. I really enjoyed their Wwe cereal gimmick, and it made me really laugh a lot of times. At the end of the day, this celebration was actually ruined by the attack of Anderson and Gallows. Quite honestly, I don't understand why Anderson and Gallows are getting a segment where they interrupt the New Day and demolish them, in the sense that they lost their match at Battleground the night before. So, in all honesty, by doing this, it's making the audience think that they're going to get a tag team title shot at freaking SummerSlam. What happened to Enzo Amore and Colin Cass? Shouldn't they be getting the shot for the tag titles? This definitely looks to me like it's leading into the club is getting the tag team title shot, which I find absolutely ridiculous and completely retarded. The next match we had was Curtis Axel, who was now called Mr. Irrelevant, to face Neville. Mr. Irrelevant. They're insulting their own talent. Still, at this point in day and age, this is the new era, and they're still insulting their talent. What fucking retards. This guy Curtis Axel looked very promising coming into WWE on Monday Night Raw in 2013. He had a pretty decent match with Triple H that ended up being a count-out with Triple H having a concussion so-called gimmick at the end of Monday Night Raw, and he was actually in the main event, and he looked pretty damn good with Triple H for a newbie. Then became an Intercontinental Champion, carried that belt for about 2 or 3 months, and then he's vanished off the face of the earth ever since. And the biggest problem was him leaving Paul Heyman's side. I think really Paul Heyman was a good help to him and should have stayed as his mentor, helping him build his character into something instead of being a social outcast, which is fucking pathetic. He should never be a social outcast. He's an outstanding performer, and for them to drop him like this is beyond me. I think he deserves a lot better than that. But Neville, yeah, he defeated Curtis Axel with the Red Arrow with a lame-ass fucking finish. Well, it wasn't lame. It just wasn't all that big of a deal. It didn't seem all that important. Backstage, they had Bob Backlund. This guy, I swear to God, I don't know when the hell this guy's going to have a heart attack. But soon enough, he probably will, because this guy was just acting like a fucking raving lunatic with Darren Young. And then they have backstage Gold Truth with R-Truth and Goldust playing Pokemon Go. And Backlund snapped and went crazy on them. Now, in all honesty, I find that Goldust and R-Truth chasing after Pokemons while walking through the arena the entire night to be quite disturbing, number one. Number two, childish. And number three, absolutely fucking waste of everyone's time. Didn't find this humorous. Didn't find this enjoyable. Found it completely retarded. But moving on. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the Women's Championship. What a fucking match. This match, ladies and gentlemen, was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn from Battleground. This was a steal. It was a show stealer. It was an outstanding performance by both women. I haven't seen a good match like this by two women since Trish Stratus and Lita from 2005 for the Women's Championship. Outstanding performance. If they didn't have a main event, this could have been it. This would have been the fucking best match. Why it was on Monday Night Raw is beyond me. But it was a smart move on WWE's part, despite the fact that they gave Sasha Banks the victory at the end of the day, and she walks away the women's champion. It still was great. It was worth everybody's time. The problem is that she needed this to be at SummerSlam. It would have been a whole lot more important. But being that it was the first Raw brand extension with just a half a roster for a 3-hour show, this going on for about 30 or 40 minutes total was outstanding. WWE did a great thing towards these two women. They put on a great match, and I have to say that I was solely impressed by both of these women. Great performance. Kudos to them. The thing that they could do that would make this even more relevant and more important and even more meaningful for both of these women is to have these two women go in a match in a steel cage match at SummerSlam for that women's championship. That would be a first that's never done on WWE programming. It's been done in other companies, but not WWE. So they wouldn't be lying by saying that. They said the first time ever in WWE, women competing inside a 15-high steel cage, 15-foot steel cage, competing for the women's championship to keep Dana Brooke out of the match. She'd be barred from ringside on top of it and everything else in between, and they did that. That would be outstanding and a smart idea on WWE. It would be the best thing that they could possibly do for both women. I think this match didn't just give Sasha Banks a great moment, it gave Charlotte a great moment because she performed hard. She worked her tail off. She did everything she could. Even without Dana Brooke there, she looked great. She just couldn't get the job done. She ended up tapping out once again to Sasha Banks. And that's very unfortunate. But it shows that Sasha Banks kind of has Charlotte's number. She's going to have to work really hard to do this. And Sasha Banks deserves an opportunity with no interferences whatsoever. And why not establish the steel cage and give that match some more credibility by keeping people out and keeping the wrestlers in? That would be the best thing they could possibly do. I think that would be a great match for SummerSlam. Steel cage match, Sasha Banks versus Charlotte in a rematch for the Women's Championship. I think that would definitely grab a lot of people's attention. All right, Braun Strowman. This guy, he went ahead. He had a match just like Nia Jax, squashing another opponent that nobody's ever heard of and completely demolishing him. Nothing was impressive by this guy. It was completely a waste of time. Nobody gives a shit. Enzo Amore and Colin Cass facing the Shining Stars. Oh my God. You just had a fucking unbelievable match with the Club And AJ Styles against John Cena and Enzo Amore and Cass, and you're giving Enzo Amore and Cass a match against the Shining Stars, who is saying that you want to rather live in fucking Puerto Rico, where it's a place where everybody's going bankrupt. It's a fucking bankrupt country, or state, or whichever way you want to look at it. I mean, they are actually part of America, but still, they're bankrupt, dude. I mean, why would anyone want to live in Puerto Rico? What, to live on the beach? You can live on the beach in a freaking flourishing state in America, not live in some piece of shit garbage hellhole like Puerto Rico, for God's sakes, where most people probably just speak Spanish, and if you don't know Spanish, you're fucked. So, hey, stay in the States, don't go to Puerto Rico. No offense to anybody who's Puerto Rican, I'm just saying, it's just kind of stupid to take yourself and move it to some place that you can't even understand and speak the same language that everyone else speaks. It's like me going to Miami, where I used to be born, or was born at. That's my hometown, and now it's a place where if you don't speak Spanish, you don't belong. So why the hell would I live in Miami anyway? Same example. And that's even in the same state I'm living in. It's Florida. God help me. But anyway, yeah, Enzo Amore and Cass pick up the victory thanks to a distraction by Golden Truth with R-Truth and Goldust trying to find Pokemon. It came from the crowd, walked in the middle of the ring, and walked out. Alright, so throughout this whole entire review, I haven't had a lot of complaints. But my God, this was fucking retarded. Truly, this was fucking ridiculous. This was WWE pulling its fucking retarded head and poking it upward at everybody's face and saying, hello, I'm still here. Like, we want to, make you feel stupid because you're watching this show. And my God, for that one small moment of this show, I felt like an asshole watching this because it was completely retarded. But thankfully, Cass and Enzo win the match. Cass picked up the victory with the big boot to one of the Shining Star retards who the fuck cares? Last match, main event, Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor. This was a shocking fucking ending. I could not believe Roman Reigns lost this match. I couldn't believe Vince McMahon would have Finn Balor be the guy to headline the main event of SummerSlam for the WWE Universal Championship against Seth Rollins. This was shocking. I could not believe they went with this. And Balor won cleanly with the coup de grace. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the finishing maneuver right. I'm sure Matthew will clear that up for all of us after SmackDown's over when we do this review. If anyone knows how to do the pronunciation, please let me know. Otherwise, forever hold your peace. Anyway, yes, Finn Balor beats Roman Reigns to be the #1 contender, face Seth Rollins. Outstanding performance by both men. I liked Finn Balor a hell of a lot more, of course. Roman Reigns just happened to be competing against a decent superstar. Well, not decent. A great superstar like Finn Balor, and eventually will be and should be the face of WWE. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Hit the like button. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought of my review. If you liked the show, let me know. If you didn't, tell me why. Overall, this show is well worth everyone's time for 3 hours. If they could do this again, great. Are they? I doubt it. I really do. I'm giving this review because this review is deserving to give. It was a good show, and it was well worth my time to watch it and then give my opinion on it. I'd rather do a majority of the show being happy about what was good about it and not shit all over it and complain like a crazy lunatic. Even though I'm pretty sure some of you people find me to be very entertaining, ranting and raving about the shit that goes on in WWE's current WWE program. But anyway, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go hit the bricks until SmackDown goes on. I will be back in 2 hours at 10 o'clock to do SmackDown Review live with my friend Matthew, and later on this week we will be doing our Random Wrestling Talk episode. I believe this is episode number 30 coming up this week. So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for some more reviews and opinions by yours truly of World of Wrestling. Myself, Bruce, my friend Matt, and my other friend John will be coming up later on this week with us at Random Wrestling Talk. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in, and have a great night until next time. Bye-bye.